Alright boys, if you want to lock in and make millions of coins in Madden 25, then you need to try out MUD Exchange. MUD Exchange is the best all-in-one Madden coin making tool service on the market right now. They got a bunch of different and unique tools on their platform that will allow you to save millions of coins as well as make so much bread. I've been playing around with MUD Exchange for a few days now, and my current favorite tool is the Snipe Spotter. How this works right here, snipes are going to pop up, you buy them, you sell them, you make coins, repeat. Yeah, you're seeing that right. Cards that are currently being posted up to the auction house that MUD Exchange views as a snipeable price are coming up into this filter. You search for these cards, you buy the cards, you sell them off. They literally have a dashboard of every single profitable set. If you do want to try out MUD Exchange, go down to the link in my description and use code MOSHI for 5% off your order. And once again, shout out MUD Exchange.
Oh, what is good, fellas, and hope you boys are all having a fantastic day. Today we are rating your teams in Madden 25. Before we hop into anything brand new, we are currently on the road to 5,000 subscribers. We can hit 5K before Valentine's Day. There will be a giveaway for you guys. It's a good chance we hit 5K before Valentine's Day, so take that for what you will. And if you aren't already subscribed and you want to potentially win some money, I feel like you boys already know what to do. When it comes to rating your teams, the way you guys can enter from here on out, there is a whole channel in my Discord. Link is in the top of the description. You guys just send in your team and a little bit of information about your team. It'll make more sense once we get going. Only taking submissions through Discord right now. We potentially might open it up to my Twitter if we need more submissions, but the Discord popped out this week, so there's no need to open it up. So we'll probably become a weekly series. Obviously, it depends if you guys actually like these videos. If you enjoy these type of videos and want me to potentially rate your team next week, go down there and drop a like. It shows me that you guys want me to do this and kind of replace the content prediction video. Also, Super Bowl Sunday, and I've kind of been tossing and turning on whether or not I want to post a night video today. In the decision, we will be posting an updates video that will be going live around 9 p.m. Eastern time. Honestly, probably just going to post it as soon as the Super Bowl ends. Do not worry, you're going to get your 3 daily videos of Moshi every single day, even Super Bowl Sunday. So the first team we got today is coming from Togger. So if I pronounce your name wrong, I am so sorry. Kind of goes for everyone. Either way, he runs a 49ers and a 20 Eagles theme team. Right off rip, I got a Dion, a Debo, Kareem Hunt, Jeff Garcia, Mike Tolbert, Juwan Jennings, Tennessee legend, George Kittle, Dallas Goedert, and then a pretty solid offensive line. You said he runs 40 49ers and 20 Eagles. I would recommend you switch on to Marcus Mariota. Mariota definitely gets Eagles chems, and I think Mariota is better than Jeff Garcia. I have Mariota as the top 4 quarterback in this game. I know a lot of people don't necessarily agree with that, but for me, I definitely think Mariota is better than Jeff Garcia. Probably go out there and pick up a Devontae Smith. There are a lot of things you can do to this team because the Eagles are the best theme team in the game. So the fact that you do have 20 Eagles, you can kind of pick and choose. I would go with Devontae Smith and definitely a Marcus Mariota at quarterback and wide receiver. I like Dion, I like Juwan Jennings, but Debo Samuel, it's a free card, which I love to see, but definitely could be your wide receiver 4. Go pick up a new top dog in Devontae Smith. So defensively, we got Kevin Byard. That is a weird free safety up there. Yes, he does get Eagles chem. Ricky Jackson, Isaiah Simmons, love to see it. Kirkland, I don't think Kirkland's going to play much for you. Charles Haley, Brian Dawkins, Troy Vincent, Nick Bosa, Jalen Carter, DeForest Buckner, Chase Young, Rasul Douglas, and Deion Sanders. Right off rip, replace Chase Young with Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith Super Bowl card is the most slept on Super Bowl champion, hands down. The card is an absolute monster. If you love Chase Young, by all means keep using Chase Young, but go out there and pick up Nolan Smith and put him in for Nick Bosa. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. When it comes to your DBs, the 94 overall Cooper DeJean Ghost to Mud is definitely a must-have card when it comes to 20 out of 20 Eagles. I think there's anyone else better for the 49ers chem when it comes to DBs. I want to tell you to spend like 2 point whatever million coins on 96 DeJean, but 94 DeJean is definitely a must-have for your squad. Depending if you want another player to use her on, you can pull out Ricky Jackson and toss in Orlin Burks. Very good card. Anyone that has an Eagles theme team is going to be so easy to rip through. I had to give it an overall ranking. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. There's definitely some good things here. Obviously, you don't have the 10 out of 10 God Squad, but like the God Squad's going to cost you 40 million coins because you do have the Eagles theme team. This can definitely get you a lot of wins in head-to-head rank competitively, so shout out to Togger. Thank you for sending in your team this week. Next up, we got the GOAT Demon Edge. Unfortunately, Demon does not have many coins. Kick it off with his defense first. He's got the Rocket. Love that card. There's that Burks. I love to see. Gibbons from the Zero Chill promo. Monte Teo. I know a lot of people love the Monte Teo card. that left outside linebacker might need to get replaced. Calvin Johnson, Deion, Zadarius Smith, Ndamukong Suh, Jalen Carter, Aiden Hutchinson, Haloti Ngata, and that is a Carlton Davis. I didn't say he runs a Lions theme team, but I'm going to assume he runs a Lions theme team. Yeah, so he runs Lions and is working towards 20 Eagles, which, yeah, a lot of us should be working towards 20 Eagles. Because you do run Lions, I guess we can leave that left outside linebacker in there. I'm sure the card is pretty good. I guess that's one of the welcome item players from the Super Bowl promo, playoff promo. I do that literally every time. Either way, that can stay right there. I don't really think there's much you can actually do here. The players that you are filling in with other options, you have the Rocket, which I absolutely love the Rocket. I know you are a big fan of Monte Teo. I don't see an Isaiah Simmons on this account, so I can't tell you to toss in Isaiah Simmons. And I mean, yeah, you got Aiden Hutchinson, you got Ndamukong Suh. I don't think there's anyone better on the defensive things for the Lions theme team. If there is, I can't think of it, so it's not that important. I was watching at home, and if I don't rate your team, just know Deion corner should be on every single one of your teams right now. He has 3 AP universal coverage as an ability. You're gonna want to get that. So Demon Edge's offense, I love what I'm seeing right here. Offensive line looks pretty solid for the most part. Or just general thought right here, your left guard for the majority of people should be Joe Thuney. You have him at a 95, so get him up to a 96. I like Charles Cross right there from the Roster Rev promo. You said you are working towards 20 Eagles. Right off rip, put Eagles players in as your backup offensive line. Screenshot is a few days old, so maybe you already did that, but you are kind of putting yourself in a disservice by not getting yourself closer to 20 out of 20 Eagles by having Zach Frazier, who I know for sure is a Steelers player, go up there and pick up the gold or core elite Eagles offensive lineman. It's going to be expensive, but for those of you trying to buy filler positions for theme teams, especially backup offensive linemen, look at the core elites before you look at the golds. For whatever reason, they're usually cheaper. Skill positions, though, we got Sam Laporta, Darnell Washington, Dontari Poe, Calvin Johnson, Jalen Hurts, Kareem Hunt, Devontae Smith, a Jameson Williams, and a Keon Coleman down there. Okay. I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. I would get a third running back in there again for those Eagles chem. Besides that, you have pretty much everything you could want. I like this Calvin card still, especially on a theme team 97 speed. Really, it's just filling out the 20 out of 20 Eagles. And the only real recommendation I have on your team would just put the filler players in and max out that 20 out of 20 Eagles. Maybe pull out a Keon Coleman, pull out a Deebo Samuel, but once you get that, the rest of your Eagles players are just going to be so much better. All right, this team, I'll probably give it an 8.2 out of 10. I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. Definitely some solid pieces to work with, but Demon Edge, put in your backups. So we got TJ Jones right here. He is a 20 Chiefs, 20 Eagles, 75,000 coins right now, but he is getting Evans from MCS. He's going to sell off halfback Vic. So let's start on the offense, and then he's going to probably have around 400,000 coins to mess around with. The fact that you are 20 out of 20 on 2 different theme teams, we can mess around with a few different things. I like Smith, I like Julio, and I like Xavier Worthy right there. I'm going to keep it honest. You still need a better wide receiver too. I don't consider Xavier Worthy a real wide receiver too. He's a slot guy for me. Like, technically he can be your wide receiver too, but he's going to be lining up on the inside for you for majority of the time. You need another outside wide receiver. Feels good. Obviously on a theme team, he gets up to 96 speed on yours, but you could probably go out there and pick up somebody like a Calvin Johnson or a Deion Sanders wide receiver. Definitely 2 players along the price spectrum. Obviously wide receiver Deion is going to cost you a bag, but then we also have, you know, Calvin Johnson from the Ghost of Mutt promo. Probably gonna be a budgetier option right there. If you do have any of your free Super Bowl B&D players, I would go out there and pick up a wide receiver. Can't go wrong with Deion. You also cannot go wrong with Reggie Wayne. If you are replacing Julio Jones, though, you're probably gonna want another chuck it up 2 type of wide receiver, so that's kind of why I threw in Calvin Johnson into that mix. He's gonna be a little bit slower compared to Julio Jones, but I really don't think it matters because he's got, what, 6'5", 95 speed. He's still gonna make plays for you. Don't mind Travis Kelce right there. If you want to upgrade tight end, you could go and snag the other Travis Kelce card. Offensive line wise, I would just get players that fit your Eagles and Chiefs theme team. See the backups in right there. I would go get a backup left guard. Same thing for running back and fullback. I know you're going to pick up Darrington Evans, but I would toss in at least a backup. When I mean a backup that gives you either of your 2 theme team chems. Taking a look at the defense now, we got Jalen Mills, Devin White, Cam Jones. I'm going to assume Cam Jones does not play for you. Nakobe Dean, Terrell Suggs, Reed Blankenship, Pat Tillman back there. We got Deion, Darrell, Nolan Smith. I love it. Jalen Carter. That is a name I am not going to say at DT2. We got Javon Curse and Troy Vincent right there. Looks like you spent more on your defense and, like, gonna keep it real with you. Yeah, that is the way to do it. I'm gonna go under the impression you're gonna buy Calvin Marlon Johnson. So let's say you have about 250,000 coins left to mess around with here. The only thing you could really do here is go get a KO cornerback. In my opinion, the best KO cornerback for this price range is going to be Marlon Humphrey from the playoff promo. If he's got 2 AP mid-zone, might be 1 AP mid-zone, but he would just slide right in as your corner 2 or your corner 3. And you can come in here and sell off Darrelle Revis. Again, I do see a few blanks in the not required. So anytime you have those, you are going to want to put in players that will, maximize your theme team. You could very easily get up to 40 out of 40 Chiefs and 20 out of 20 Eagles, but really, it just comes down to putting in your lineup fillers. I see one team captain right now, so I am going to assume you were using Jason Elam as well. You're not using the team captain kicker. Go out there and use the team captain kicker. If I had to rate this team, I'll probably give it a 5.9 out of 10. Good team, respectable, but definitely some, big gaps on the squad. I don't even think it's big gaps that aren't fixable. You can easily fix up this squad to an 8 or 7 out of 10 fairly easily. The offensive line does need some work, but right now, offensive linemen don't really need to be the craziest thing in the world. We talked about the wide receiver, and then, of course, you do have some fillers that we need to have players in as backup, and these not required. The gaps you have on your team, they're definitely fixable. Priority 1 should be figuring out what team direction you want to go. I recommend going 40 out of 40 on 1, then 20 out of 20 on 2. You can always come back in and go 40 out of 40 on 1, and then 20 out of 20 on the second one. Once you pick that direction, go put players in as backups, and definitely snag at least one corner that has mid-zone KO for you. You definitely don't need to be running 4 AP on Reed Blankenship. Again though, thank you TJ Jones for sending in your squad. Next up, we got JL8. He is 40 Eagles, 20 Chiefs. Yeah, this is the squad and a half right here. We're gonna get super nitpicky here. Julio Jones, go replace Julio with 95 overall team diamond Deshaun Jackson. Then again, I see the coin count, so maybe there really isn't too much to pivot on right here. I definitely toss in a third running back. I'm pretty sure it's the Eagles fullback from the Super Bowl promo, the 85 overall. Go pick up that card. Go grab Isaiah Pacheco and put him in as your running back 3. That card is 90 speed as a fullback. It's gross. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I am talking about. But besides that, I mean, there really isn't anything to change. You got Joe Staley at left tackle. You got Leighton Johnson, Larry Little, Beef Jerky, and Joe Thuney. Go get Thuney up to 96 overall. You got really good tight ends. Obviously, AJ Brown, Smitty, and Julio Jones. You could replace Julio Jones with Xavier Worthy. In my eyes, Devontae Smith and Xavier Worthy are going to do the same role on your team. I guess so with Deshaun Jackson. So instead of picking up 95 overall team diamond D-Jack, I would just go snag Xavier Worthy. Up to 98 speed on your squad. He's going to cost you about 300,000 coins. So obviously you'd have to sell something off. Probably move on from 94 overall Saquon. Let's take a look at the defense though right here. And what do we have? Malcolm Jenkins, Burks, Simmons, Teo, Ray Nitschke, Brian Dawkins, Dion, Javon Kearse, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Rasul Douglas, Jalen Watson, and Isaiah Roger Sr. I don't have a corner 5 in, I would toss in a corner 5. I don't have a backup free safety, I would toss in a backup free safety. Aren't using Monte Teo, it looks like. I'm gonna ask, who is your kicker right now? Because you can go take out Monte Teo, it doesn't look like you're using him, and put in Jason Elam. Defensive line wise, this doesn't get much better. Nolan Smith, Carter Davis, and Javon Kearse. You could go out there and pick up Karlaftis. If you have any free Super Bowl players remaining, I would recommend that. I like Dion, I like Watson, I like Rasul Douglas. Burks, I'm a big fan of that card. Simmons, I mean, yeah, this defense is an absolute strap. The only thing I would honestly do is 1, toss in backups. They can be not great backups, and then 2, go pick up George Karlaftis, which is going to be an 8.9, like almost a 9 out of 10 team right here. Very, very good. So we got R up next. So he has 40 Chiefs, 9 Eagles, about 1 million coins in the bank. He says offensive line needs work. I mean, you technically are right in saying your offensive line needs work, but you should just go out there and pick up fillers for your theme team, which for the most part, I think you do. I'm pretty sure CJ Hansen is a Chief or an Eagle. Actually, I have no idea off the top of my head. You don't necessarily need to dump too many coins into your offensive line right now. Offensive line abilities don't really matter that much. Kelsey, Vernon Davis, and Dallas Goedert. I love that trio of tight ends right there. AJ Brown, DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to assume, yeah, Hopkins is maxed out. Kareem Hunt, RG3, Michael Burt, and then Xavier Worthy. My recommendation here is to go switch out RG3 for Marcus Mariota. I'm a big fan of Mariota. I know some people love RG3. The MCS guys love RG3. I like Mariota. I think he is a little bit better, and I'm pretty sure he's a little bit cheaper right now, so take that for what you will. Defensively, you got Nubin, Tyrann Mathieu. You got the Black History Month player whose name I can just not say, Nakobe Dean, Nick Bolton, Sean T, Pat Tillman, Reed Blankenship, Darrelle Revis, Javon Kearse, Gerald McCoy, Vita Vea, Josh Sweat, Charles Woodson, and then we got Jalen Watson right there. We go under the impression here that you are working towards 20 Eagles still. You're going to have to replace Sean Taylor. Go get Orlin Burks from the Super Bowl promo. 2, you're going to want to replace Darius Charvarius Ward or Darrell Revis with Cooper DeJean. 94 overall goes to Mutt Cooper DeJean. Defensive line wise, like, yes, you could go out there and pick up like a Nolan Smith. It's expensive. You only have 1 million coins, and I don't think that is a priority one pickup for you right now. Actually, it might, because it doesn't look like you use Sean Taylor. I don't know if you use your outside linebackers. If you don't use your outside linebackers, go replace Josh Sweat with Nolan Smith. Go pick up the big George Karlaftis, and I would pretty much leave everything else how it is. DeJean, Nolan Smith, and then we're gonna go with the George Karlaftis from the Super Bowl promo. Like, everyone is running the exact same theme teams. It makes my job significantly easier. We have to name the same 4 players for every single team. He sent me his special teams as well. Shout out you. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the best you can get for Chiefs. And then we got your specialist right here. I see everything that I like, except I would, replace Karlaftis right here. And then I would go and get Nolan Smith. And yeah, you definitely are not using Sean Taylor, so I would just go and replace Sean Taylor with the cheapest outside linebacker you can find that fits Eagles theme team. For your backups, I would just begin filling them in with Eagles players. Begin to look at team diamonds. They give ×3 team chem. I don't know who the Eagles team diamond is off the top of my head. Same thing for team builders. I know Hurts has a team builder card, but I'm pretty sure Hurts is your quarterback right now, if I remember right. So you can't have both. You don't have Hurts, so you could go out there and pick up Hurts team builder. He has ×2 Eagles chem, so that'll just make it easier to get up to that 20 out of 20 Eagles. So we got Lamar right here, and we're gonna start with his defense. We got Haloti Ngata, Kyle Van Noy. I love that Van Noy card. Isaiah Simmons. I do not think you were using Deion Henley. I have never seen that card before in my life. Sean Taylor, Devin White, Kyle Hamilton, Deion Sanders, Marlon Humphrey, Broderick Washington, Mattabeast LTD, I'm pretty sure, Quinn Williams, Zadarius Smith, and Nate Wiggins. You just said you replaced 94 overall Mattabeast with the limited time. I'm going to tell you right now, go sell off the LTD Mattabeast and go pick up the one you have right now in the screenshot. If it's a line-wise, I would replace Broderick Washington. You can go with the Nolan Smith. You can also go with an Aiden Hutchinson. That card is so good from the Zero Chill promo. Seen a lot of people today with Javon Curse. That card is also going to be good for you. B-wise, I love what I see right here. Wiggins is a stud. Marlon Humphrey, love the discounts right there. And of course, Deion Sanders is a must-have for me. Backer-wise, wait, you have Haloti Ngata in as free safety. I actually really do like that. I haven't seen that before, but that looks really good. I love Kyle Van Noy. And maybe you don't use your right end at all. Van Noy is a pure edge rusher, so I'm going to assume you don't use Broderick Washington and use Kyle Van Noy off the edge. You got Kyle Hamilton right here, another card that I do enjoy. Devin White is looking like your player that you're maxing out for the Super Bowl promo. I mean, yeah, the only thing I would do on this team right now, there really isn't much to do. Oh, just downgrade a defensive tackle. You don't need to spend that many coins on a 95 overall DT. He will be getting reduxed very soon, probably going to be next week. Offensive-wise, we got Joe Staley, we got Tristan Colin, Jeff Saturday, Marshall Yanda, Forrest Gregg, Todd Heap, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, OBJ, Gronk, RG3, Jamal Lewis, Christian McCaffrey, and Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, and Deion Sanders. And you're waiting to pick up the new Lamar Jackson card whenever that may drop. So you're obviously a Ravens fan. I don't know what your Ravens theme... Okay, so you are 40 out of 40 Ravens too. 41 out of 40, so you do have some flexibility right here. I don't like the Zay Flowers stocking stuffer card right now. Him and OBJ are pretty much doing the exact same thing for you on your offense. Same thing with Deion. You need to go up there and get a type of wide receiver. And I'm going to go and recommend you pick up 95 overall Calvin Johnson from the Ghost of Mutt promo. You have a decent amount of coins too, so you could go out there and pick up like a Nico Collins from the playoff promo. Super Bowl promo didn't give us any jump ball wide receivers, and I feel like that's all this team is really missing right now. I don't want to tell you to switch out your quarterback because you're waiting for the next Lamar Jackson, and RG3 is still very good. 8 flowers for Calvin Johnson, and I'm going to give this one a 7. I like this team right here. Ravens theme team has kind of been gotten forgotten about a little bit by the EA team. I guess they didn't make the Super Bowl, but from what I've seen right here, very, very good. Next up, we got S. He is a Bills-Cowboys theme team. Started around Christmas with 4.2 million coins, has spent a little bit of money. Assume you're going to want to pick up MVP Josh Allen, so I am not going to tell you to buy any super expensive cards because when that NFL Honors Josh Allen drops, you're going to want to pick him up. So it depends how good the card is, but like I'm sure he's going to be gross. It's the MVP. Your offensive line looks fine. Tight end-wise, I like that Kincaid card. Cool, definitely on a Bills theme team right there. Running back wise, James Cook is good, definitely not. He might be like top 15 now. Never used James Cook. His stats weren't game breaking. He just kind of looked like another running back we got in the game. Of course, he does fit your theme team, Xavier Worthy, Keon Coleman, and Shakir. I have only heard good things about the Shakir card, so I'm not going to tell you to sell him off. Keon Coleman, obviously the Bills theme team, but Xavier Worthy, you could go out there and pick up a Deion. I prefer Deion Sanders, wide receiver, over Xavier Worthy. I use both of them on my team. In my opinion, Xavier Worthy is just a little bit worse than Deion. They both kind of do the same thing for you. Defensively, we got Taylor Rapp, Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, Devin Lloyd, Charles Haley, Ryan Dawkins. We got Rasul Douglas, AJ Espinoza, Anthony McFarland, Ed Oliver, Bruce Smith, Vontae Davis, and Deion Sanders. The recommendation I have for your defense is, do you use Charles Haley? And if so, what are you using Charles Haley for? Going to hope he is edge rushing for you. If he is not edge rushing for you, find somebody else to be your left outside linebacker. Art isn't bad though. I just don't love any of the season 5 players to begin with. Middle linebacker wise, you could look to upgrade Devin Lloyd. I don't know if you use Devin Lloyd. You don't. I guess you have Cam Chancellor back there as your strong safety too, so you could potentially be using on Cam Chancellor. You still are using Devin Lloyd, and honestly Cam Chancellor at this point, you have the coins to spend. Those are more value picks nowadays. You could definitely get away with using either of those 2 cards, but potentially look to upgrade there. Besides that, I mean, everything else looks very good. The only thing I could potentially think of, just because you have DeMarcus Ware here as a backup, go in there and pick up the Super Bowl DeMarcus Ware card and toss him in as your edge rushing outside linebacker over Charles Haley. Art is really, really good. He gets unstoppable glowing X factor for 4 AP right now. I don't think you can squeeze that in. Also, make sure you're using all of your AP. Looks like you have Lurk Artist on Terrell Bernard, but it doesn't look like it's activated right now, so I would figure out a way to get that going. A few more right here. Next up, this team is coming from Mike. He has 40 Chiefs, 40 Ravens, 4 million coins to spend. Offensive line, I like what I'm seeing right here. Joe Alt Delete is a card that you are going to want to pick up pretty soon. Size and defensive ends are getting significantly better. Tight end wise, Darnell Washington, Tony G, Travis Kelce. When are we going to get a Tony G upgrade? Quarterback, you got RG3, obviously fits the theme team. Kareem Hunt, Ricky Williams, DeAndre Hopkins, Xavier Worthy, and Deion Sanders. You have your chuck it up to wide receiver and DeAndre Hopkins. You got 2 speed guys. You got Darnell Washington, another chuck it up guy. I don't really think there's much you can actually upgrade here. You could go out there and pick up a better backup tight end. If you don't use a backup tight end, there is no need to go spend coins on that. I would just save your 4 mil when it comes to the offensive things. Also, 151,000 training is disgusting work. Defensive-wise, okay, Mike, what is going on here? There is one more picture. Hang on one second. I was like, what's going on? So, you don't use half of those cards in your lineup. You got DeMarcus Ware as your rush right end. You got George Karlaftis as your rush left end. And you got Dontari Poe in the middle, using on Teo and Ray Nitschke. I was a little confused there for a minute. I think this looks fairly good. I don't love Brian Dawkins in as cornerback 3. You're probably running some super just like meta defense because you got Cooper DeJean up there, Brian Dawkins in as corner 3. I have not seen something like this in a minute. You don't have any ends in it all, but it's because you're probably hiding them in right here to get the theme team boosted up. This is a legit squad right here. Make sure you have backups in as third down, power, and slot receiver. Same thing goes for your ends. Other than that, this is a 9.5 out of 10 team. It does not get much better than this, especially with the, I guess, criteria you gave yourself. 2 of the better theme teams in the entire game as well. And as soon as we get a Lamar Jackson upgrade, your team is going to be a 10 out of 10 most likely. We're going to go one more for this episode. This team is coming from Bloodhound. Offensive line-wise, looks pretty good. You are 40 out of 40 Chiefs right down there. You go pick up Andrew Wiley from the playoff promo and flip him over to left tackle. Tight end wise, you got Darnell Washington, Tony G, and Noah Gray. I'm pretty sure that's the exact same tight end layout we just saw on the previous team. You got D-Hop, Tyreek Hill, Chris Johnson, Patty Mahomes. Okay, first Mahomes I've seen. Michael Burton and Xavier Worthy. You have 9 AP on Mahomes and then 0 AP on Chris Johnson. Johnson does get all 32 team chems. I don't hate the idea of selling off Chris Johnson and picking up Kareem Hunt. Johnson is definitely better than Kareem Hunt, but you could definitely save a pretty penny by flipping that one out. Receiver-wise, if you can go out there and pick up a Deion Sanders, I am all for it, but if you're cool with Xavier Worthy and Tyreek Hill, you can just leave it. Love to see a D-Hop out there. Patty Mahomes, why do you have 9 AP on Mahomes? Let me know down below, what is your ability stack on him? I don't know if I would run 9 AP on my quarterback. Maybe. I just don't know how you play offense. Defensively, we got Malcolm Jenkins, Sean T, Monte Teo, Tyreek Hill, middle linebacker, Willie Gay, Calvin Johnson, Darrell, Max Crosby with 5 AP on him right there. William Perry, Chris Jones, Mike Dana, Vontae Davis, and Jalen Watson. If you said middle linebacker 1 and middle linebacker 2 both play for you, so I would go out there and pick up Nick Bolton from the Super Bowl. I think it might be the playoff promo. Just got an upgrade with one of the promos. You run Chiefs, I would go snag that card as soon as you can. Don't need to run 5 AP on Max Crosby. I would try to get some more KOs out there. Maybe a pick artist or two. DB wise, I like Jalen Watson. I like Revis. I like Davis. I like the trio you have going right here. Defensive line wise, definitely needs some work. George Karlaftis is calling your name. If you do sell off Chris Johnson and go pick up Kareem Hunt, I would go snag a George Karlaftis as well. Then get a Nick Bolton. But besides that, this team does look pretty solid. Obviously, there are a bunch of brand new Chiefs players in the game with the Super Bowl promo. You got a majority of the good ones on offense. I guess you just have Patrick Mahomes, who, well, Mahomes is very good. You can go pick up the new Kelsey if you would like. Having a B&D tight end, I don't necessarily think it is worth it. Offensive line is good. You can try to go out there and max out your theme team on offensive line wise, so you don't have to do it later, but the prices will go down eventually. Talk more about prices on Monday, do not worry. But I mean, yeah, this is definitely going to be a 7.1 out of 10. Patrick Mahomes and Chris Johnson are carrying this squad, in my opinion. All said, boys, this is going to be episode 1 of I Rate Your Teams. Let me know down below, did you guys enjoy this video? Those of you who submitted teams and I did not get to them, I am sorry. We will get to them next week, I promise you guys. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, and I'll get you boys back here tonight for an updates video. But until then, peace, gents. I love you guys.